I'm Lauren Cohn, live from Fox Chicago News at 4:57. It's crunch time for Chicago's Olympic delegation. Less than 9 hours to go before the final pitch to the IOC. We're just minutes away from an Olympic special with a live report from Copenhagen. And we'll take a look at Daley Plaza, where the mayor hopes we'll see an Olympic celebration tomorrow. Tonight at 9, President Obama is sending 2 cabinet members to Chicago to discuss the deadly beating of an honor student. We will see you at 9.
Chicago's got a feeling about 2016.
We want these games. We want them.
Soon, one city's Olympic dream will burn bright. 3 others will be extinguished. Fox Chicago's live team coverage starts right now.
This is it. Time is almost up. Will Chicago get the games? We're going to know in less than 19 hours. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lauren Cohn. The race for the games is almost over. Just one more hurdle to jump to get to the finish line. Now, the hope here, Chicago will be the 2016 host city. So here's where the cities stand right now, according to GamesVids.com. Leading the Final Four is Rio de Janeiro. Chicago is a close second, followed by Tokyo, then Madrid. President Obama will put his prestige on the line, helping his home city hopefully become an Olympic city. The president leaves within the hour for Copenhagen. Each city has spent a huge amount of money to bring home the gold, and each has been evaluated for its positive and negative attributes. So let's start with the city considered Chicago's biggest rival, and that is Rio. Rio's big plus right now, South America has never hosted a Summer Olympics. The city's big minus, Rio's crime rate and pollution. Moving on to Madrid, how does that city measure up? The city's plus, and this is big. Backing the bid is Juan Antonio Samaranch. Now, he's the former head of the IOC. Some members may want to give him a farewell gift. Madrid's minus, however, the city finished 3rd in the chase for the 2012 Olympics, but that's not dampening spirit. Out of Tokyo, the city is no stranger to the games. Remember, the 1964 Olympics were in Tokyo. The city's pluses, eco-friendly venues and a good transit system. Tokyo's big minus, however, a lack of support. Just 55% of people there actually want the games. Coming up, when it comes to paying for the games, who will get stuck with the bill? What you need to know in 2 minutes. But first, another Olympic shout-out. In 2005, London won the 2012 Olympics. So how did it feel? Who's really paying for it? And does star power really help here? Sky News' John Desborough has the answers. All right, so what will it be like if Chicago really wins? And for the answer, we're going to bring in Mark Gannis, who is the president of Sports Corp, a consulting company. At this point, and it's very exciting, how do you assess our chances?
We have as good a chance as any of the cities to win, but we are likely still not in the lead. We certainly don't have it locked up like so many people in Chicago seem to think is the case. The primary thing that's going on right now is they're making sure the 2016 people in the White House, they're not leaving anything in the locker room. Everything they can possibly do is going to be put out there on the field so that win or lose, they'll know it's absolutely the best effort that could be.
You take a look at this very complicated voting process. Let's just say it really does come down to Chicago and Rio as the front runners. Madrid or Tokyo goes first. Where do those votes go to? Is Tokyo going to go to Chicago, Madrid to Rio, or the other way? Support. The final IOC report did say that 67% rather of Chicagoans supported the games. Would you have expected that number to be higher and sway the IOC members, or it really doesn't matter?
That number is a fine number. It would have been nice if the number was higher. I suspect the reason it wasn't higher is because, frankly, Chicago 2016 didn't really do a significant outreach program over the last year and a half here in Chicago to get the grassroots support. They were really focused on the top tier, the elite, and get their support, which they obviously did. But 67% is a fine number. It's not an off-the-chart number high, and it's not a number that they're saying, well, there's a lot of resistance or lack of support. That'll be enough to get it over the top. It's everything else that will make the difference.
And from what you're hearing, how is Michelle Obama doing?
I've heard that she's just been terrific. The meetings that she's using the protocol office of the White House, setting these things up as almost like their meetings with heads of state. But then when they come in to actually meet with her, she's very relaxed. makes it a very different atmosphere. No airs or anything like that. And to some of the voters, this kind of protocol is very important. Something that we tend to forget. 10 of the 100 voters, of the roughly 100 voters, are actually members of royalty.
Right.
The Princess of Liechtenstein, Luxembourg. To them, these kinds of niceties are really important.
And she is certainly used to this. All right, Mark Annis, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate that. We're on the edge of our seats. Coming up, President Obama's role in getting the games, could it backfire? But first, another Olympic push, and this time in Philly. Oh, you're looking at a live picture of Daley Plaza, wet Daley Plaza. A big celebration is expected to happen here tomorrow if Chicago pulls out a victory. We hope it's going to be dry if that does occur. Now, the diplomatic mission, get the games. President Obama finds himself at the center of another election, help his home city become the next Olympic city. Political editor Jack Cohn joins us with a look at the role politics is playing in all of this, and politics is certainly playing a big role, Jack.
Well, politics surrounds all of this. We have to remember that this is the first American president ever to involve himself in the selection process at this level. Why did he do it? Because of hometown ties, because of his ties to Mayor Daley. My sense has been from the beginning here that the president would not go to Copenhagen unless there was a high degree of likelihood that we would win. But as Mark Annis points out, this is a very difficult process to handicap. What happens if we don't win? At least the president tried. And he cannot be criticized here back in Chicago for not having made the effort.
So you don't think he'd look bad on the world stage if we do lose?
I don't think that there is his pitch, his approach with those delegates is going to be that we have a different approach to foreign policy under the Obama administration. We are reaching out to countries in the world. And if they want to affirm that message, they can vote for the United States. He's working against a couple of very serious handicaps. We have armies overseas at war. There are many countries in the world who blame the United States for this worldwide recession. So it is a very difficult political environment he's stepping into. At the same time, he's the biggest celebrity in the world. He's the biggest star in the world, and he has a message which is trying to bring people together. We'll see if it works.
All right, so let's say it does and we win. Transformation for Mayor Daley, has he become King Daley?
Well, my friend John Cass believes that to be the case. I mean, I don't believe that Mayor Daley was in serious political trouble before this. Clearly, it solidifies the mayor's grasp on the political process around the city. There are going to be some who suggest that a city like Chicago is going to have a great deal of difficulty putting on these games and not getting involved in corrupt deals. But those things will come out much later. They'll come out after investigations. They'll come out, for the most part, after the games have already been held. So I don't think there's any short-term political liability for the mayor.
Although he's going to be under the microscope, Jack, because there's deficits, there's taxpayer woes, there's always the issue, city politics here. Are there going to be contracts awarded to certain people?
Well, again, Lauren, much of that may come out in the long run. It won't come out in the short term. You have to remember that when the mayor first proposed this idea, everything was fine and robust with the economy. Things have since gone south. There has since been a souring of the public mood in Chicago surrounding whatever financial liability the city may entertain as a consequence of these games. But the mayor can still sell the idea that the Olympics is all about jobs, it's about putting people back to work, and that there are very few avenues for that at the current time, and I think that'll work.
All right, well, Jack Cohn, thank you so much for that insight. We're all on the edge of our seats. We don't have that much more time to go. Our coverage of Chicago's Olympic bid doesn't stop here. We're going to bring you the vote live. Tomorrow, it all starts at 1:30 in the morning, and then it continues all day long, our coverage with Good Day Chicago, an Olympic special at 5 p.m., and the news at Line. And online, you can track all the Olympic action at myfoxchicago.com. We want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and as we leave you, the question everyone will soon know, will Chicago be savoring the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat? The answer in less than 18 hours. Thanks for joining us.